And do I look at you or what?
It's Medical Monday with East Cooper Medical Center. Ophthalmologist Dr. Rogers is here today to talk about information on cataracts and Botox. They're not combined together, but you administer both of those in reference to surgical cataracts or removal of cataracts.
Correct.
Tell us, who actually develops cataracts? You see mainly in older people, let's say people over 50 years old?
Mostly in older people, but certainly some people are even born with cataracts. But the typical cataract is something that people develop as they age. Everybody gets cataracts. How much they bother them varies tremendously between person to person.
And a cataract can, as you say, bothering a person, there may be a little bit of milkiness or a little bit of blurredness.
Right. What people will describe is that things are not as crisp as they used to be, loss of contrast sensitivity. In general, things are not as bright. People will complain that they start to not feel safe to drive at night, that the glare from oncoming headlights bothers them tremendously.
Does it happen in both eyes at the same time? Or
typically.
Okay.
Typically it happens in both eyes at the same time, but not always. Sometimes one cataract is much worse than the other.
Tell us about the surgery that goes on, because a lot of people think, oh gosh, they're going to go into my eye and it's going to hurt. But my understanding, it's basically painless.
Right, it is. It's microsurgery. It's an outpatient surgery. The surgery itself takes about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and we do it one eye at a time. And essentially, we make two very tiny incisions on the eye and go in through those to break up the lens, which is your cataract, with water and ultrasound, and kind of vacuum out the pieces. And then through that same incision, we put your new lens, which we know what strength to put in based on measurements that we do in the office. And it goes in kind of folded up like a burrito, your new lens. And then it unfolds right in the natural space where your lens was, the cataract.
Amazing, amazing. And to let people know also that the eye is completely numb when you're doing this.
Absolutely.
And the patient is very relaxed. You really don't know what's going on.
Right. A lot of people sleep through the surgery or say very little. What the majority of my patients tell me, the worst part of cataract surgery is the anticipation, and then when I take the drape off of their face, pulling on their skin.
And we need to mention also that you're the only ophthalmologist that does that type of surgery here in Mount Pleasant.
Right. I'm the only one that operates purely in Mount Pleasant, and so I do all my cataracts here in Mount Pleasant. Fantastic.
Once a person has the cataract surgery, it's usually a day or two with a patch over the eye so it can heal?
Right. No, they only have to wear a shield when they're sleeping for the first week.
Okay.
And that's just to prevent you from rubbing the eye.
I see.
I don't use any stitches, so there's no sutures in there. Okay. So you just don't want to have to rub the eye to have the potential of opening your wound.
So literally when the person finishes surgery, there's no patch or whatever that goes over the eye?
When they leave the operating room, they're wearing a shield. But then I tell them, as soon as you leave here, if you want to go eat or whatever you're doing, you can take the shield off. It's just when you're sleeping you need to wear the shield, just to keep you from rubbing the eye.
Once again, on the cataract surgery, you go in and remove the cataract, and then you put an additional lens that unfolds on top of the eye.
Right, in the eye.
In the eye. So this is determining the vision of the person, helping out the vision of the person.
Exactly.
With if it's going to be 20/20 or 20/15.
Right.
Okay, and that will determine what is the additional lens that you put on.
Right. So we do a lot of measurements on the eye prior to surgery that tell us the strength of the lens to put in the eye, similar to the strength of the lens we would put in your eyeglasses. And that lets us know what to put in the eye, and the goal of which is we're trying to make people 20/20 for distance. There's special lenses where we can make them 20/20 close up and at distance. There's lots of different options, and once I have the patient's measurements, I'll go over their lens options with them based on their lifestyle and what they would like to achieve from surgery.
Wonderful. Let's transition to Botox.
Okay.
Tell us about the Botox that you administer.
Okay, so Botox is really a wonderful thing. It's been around for a long time, and it basically, I use it in two different ways. I do have some patients that have something called blepharospasm. So they've developed a problem with the nerve, and so they're constantly cringing, either their eye or the whole side of the face. Botox is used to treat that, and that stops that clenching.
Okay.
Cosmetically, Botox is great for preventing the formation or starting to minimize the lines on the forehead.
Like these big ones right here.
in between the eyes and on the crow's feet.
Wow.
And it's something I do in the office. It takes literally minutes. There's no downtime or any type of things that you need to do before or after. And it's been really a fantastic option for people that are just trying to keep their youthful face as long as possible.
And a lot of folks are doing that these days, aren't
A
they?
lot of folks are doing that.
Not
yeah.
only will they be able to look better, but going through you, they can see better as well.
That's right. That's right.
That's fantastic. Doctor, thank you so very much.
Well,
Once
thank
again,
you.
you're the only doctor, the only ophthalmologist that practices solely right here in the Mount Pleasant area that does the surgery as well.
Right.
And the folks can get a hold of you right there at the number 843-277-6600. Thanks so much for joining us
Thank
again.
you. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. We've got more coming up in just a moment, so stay with us.